Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Whew, it's Saturday. It is March 5th. Like, how crazy is that? So, welcome, everybody, and to some craziness. So, welcome. Let's go through this. There's a lot to cover, um, and a lot going on. And I had some aha moments that came to me with this and how things are, what is uncovering, especially through the astrology. And then, okay. Okay. Sorry about that. My mic just went out. And just one. Okay. We are in a very sensitive, weird, spiritual energy. And it is, it is, I'm going to say it is extreme. I mean, we are past extreme. This is where there's so many blessings within this weirdness of spirituality, and especially with the Sun Jupiter conjunction and the Sun Jupiter conjunction that we're happening. And as the Sun passes over Jupiter, it'll be in between Jupiter and Neptune. There is this vulnerability that we have to do in order for us to go forward within ourselves, within our life. And this vulnerability is a surrender to that of God. And within that surrender of God, when you are doing this, this is looking at, you know, letting go, because you think, okay, I got everything under control. I got everything all set up here. I have all of this set up. You're feeling that you have all your ducks in a row. But this energy is going to show you, and it's going to pull the rug, as it has in my life, in my husband's life, out of nowhere. That's the way the energy is. Out of nowhere, the energies start to shift and change, and you thought it was going in a certain direction, and it just isn't. It just switches around. And this is where you wish God would just fill you up, just take it away and fill you up with everything and take it. But there is some different blessings that are coming in, and this is having you get a reconnection with God, a reconnection with your divine, having you come more into that place where you have to let go. You have to surrender. You have to This is 12th house. I mean, anybody who has a lot of planets in the 12th house in your natal chart, there is a constant surrendering. There's a constant releasing, letting go, and trusting in the divine. This is an area where you can get lost. This is an area, because it's so expansive, you can get lost in the vastness and feel like very overwhelmed with all of it. And that overwhelmness can have you go to drugs, alcohol, go to some form of addiction, so that you don't have to deal with the overwhelmness of your life. And I'm just talking about your personal life. I haven't gone into the outside world yet. This is just personally, with things. And we're all dealing with this, and we're all dealing with the Capricorn energy, the intensity of what the Capricorn energy has brought in for us. And it kind of dawned on me, when I was talking about when Mars and Venus were at 22 degrees, and I was telling people that 22 degrees Capricorn was a very transitional time. This was a time of change. Well, at exactly 22 degrees was when the Ukrainian-Russian war broke out. 22 degrees was where the coronavirus was announced, and was the first diagnosis of the coronavirus per se was in the news. So we are going through this energy again. And same with the 0 degrees of Mars and Venus on Aquarius. We had Jupiter and Saturn that met at 0 degrees. This 0 degrees, this is transformational. This is bringing us in. And now we have the personal planets there that are saying, okay, what is that personal transformation and change you have to make? What is that surrender you have to do in order for you to allow for the beautiful divine Christ consciousness light to come in to light you up within your own Trinity, within your own holiness? And this Venus it's coming to pass all of that of Mars. It's saying, buddy, I've had enough of you. There has been a lot of, where when Mars passed Venus, which is unusual, you don't get that. Venus is always ahead. And Mars was like, I'm taking control. I'm doing this. This is what I am going to do. We need to create a change. We need to create something. And Venus is like, man, I've had enough of all this control. But yes, she's doing a semi-square over to the sun. You're feeling that intensity. You're feeling that vibration of change that is coming within your own selves, within how your world looks. And this is where we can come into a place that can bring in, when we surrender, when we allow for that divinity, that divine, that God and that goddess energy to come in, where great manifestation can happen. It is our dream that we give, it's that dream, and God knows our dreams. He knows your prayers, even though you're not praying, or even if you are praying. He knows them. It is through that divine will, through that divine energy, is bringing us into this change. And it can be rough. We all know it's not an easy one. It is where we're coming into the 15th degree of Aquarius, of Pisces. So we're halfway through. We're halfway through until spring. And Mercury is squaring the node. So this is where is my life going with it all? Like, where's the direction that I need to be taking? Because it's squaring the node, which is in Taurus and Scorpio. We don't want to get lost in the craziness and the illusions and the darkness and be held there. That's where, Mercury's, it's kind of like having that, angels on your shoulder, the devil and the angel. And you're having that conversation, and the devil's like, well, look at this, look at this, look at this, and I can hold you here. And yet over here, it's like, well, if you just let that go, release, 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 give it up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and a miracle, we can take you to where you need to go. We can bring in that great abundance. And I have to say thank you to some beautiful people that it has been so appreciative and overwhelming, because we got some help, and it's because of what we are going through and what just happened to Steve and the scariness. He's going to make a complete recovery. He's on the road of recovery, but it's that road of recovery. That doesn't mean it happens in 24 hours. So this is where both of us have had to do a complete surrender. This is where I had to come in and say, you know what? There are things I just can't do right now. I cannot give my all to do the mini readings that I do twice a month. It was exhausted. Like, I felt overwhelmed, and then I felt, oh my God, I got to get this done. I got to do this. And then I have another reading that sort of, I've put it on. Oh, my hair is doing something. And there we go. Do something. Yeah. I had to put on hold for this person. I did the PDF and that, and just doing the PDF for them, I was just like, oh my goodness. Oh, I have to come in, and I really had to take a moment and sit and surrender and say to God and say to and I say, dear mother, father, this is a lot. This is a lot for me. This is a lot for my family. There's so much more, for me to do, which is I which is fine, but there's a huge burden, and giving it over, and unexpected blessings came into our life, and um I had to go, and I just started crying, and my husband, like, I don't wanna cry in front of him, he's already going through enough stress, and then seeing me crying, it just really upsets him even more. It's not very good with emotions, just saying, and having to really feel the true depths of the emotions, and I said, "I just have to feel this. I gotta feel this blessings." And the blessings, really helped us over this one hump, that it was like, okay, this is what's happening in our life. We have to we have obligations that have to get done. And some of the obligations were like, well, we can't we can't help you, or we can't do anything about it at this, whatever. So a guardian angel came in and helped us with no strings attached, and gave us that extra oomph that we needed, and that just helped us over that little, I'm gonna say, that little lump that we're going that we had to go through. And that's where this, especially with this Piscean energy, and with Jupiter and the sun conjuncting, and we have that Venus and Mars, and that Venus and Mars meeting when they met up with Pluto was looking at, what do you need to change in your life? What do you need to let go of? And then passing over, where they're going to be going into Aquarius this weekend, of looking at that direction of what it is that you are feeling you need to do, and being in that truth and honesty. This is where the biggest, we got the biggest planets, the sun and the Jupiter, coming together. And where is this all going? And there is that you need to know. It's like almost like you want to know. And all of this is like very physical, because we have the moon in Taurus. It's very physical. We want to feel it. We want to know it. It's like, I need to know. I need to know. It's like the mundane, prove it to me almost. And the spiritual wants to, and it's very ego, because it's going from Aries into Taurus, which are very ego-minded energies, right? It's the first and second part of the astrology, and it deals with a lot of where stuff that we need to heal, where in that ego that we need to heal. And with Chiron in Aries, is like, it doesn't want to heal. Chiron was the warrior that became the leader, the warrior that became the leader. The last time Chiron went into Aries was in the 70s, and it was during the Vietnam War, where all of these warriors were coming in to become the leaders, to become that, to show us a better way, but they were condemned. That condemning was happening, where, they were baby killers, and they were tossed to the side, where many went down a very dark road. Some didn't. And these were the Chiron warriors to become the leaders. This is where, with Chiron in Aries, is that energy of the warrior to become the leader, to become that of who can show us a different way of doing things. And this is where, with all of this energy, it's showing us, where can you do it differently? Where can you stand up in your life in a different way than what you have been doing, and let go of what no longer serves you? Oh, I mean, and it's not an easy feat. It's not a feat that comes like that. But this is where, with that sun, in the sun coming in, especially tomorrow, sun in the morning is going to be squaring Mars as Mars passes over, as Venus passes over Mars. So squaring that energy and wants to feel good. I want to have it and I want to feel good, but it's us that we need to step back. We need to really step back. It's that hangman energy. The hangman is like, he's hanging upside down, but he's trying to look at the world with new eyes, a fresh perspective, and stepping back. And this is bringing in a lot of mental stuff, a lot of mental stuff. And we got to beware and surrender so that we can allow ourselves to go into more of an easy flow. And we can't freak out over this. There's a lot that's coming forward that is going to be huge. And as we step forward into a new paradigm, I'm going to say, a new world of looking at it, and for us to be able to allow ourselves to step out. It's even with that conjunction with Mars and Venus 2.5 weeks ago at 22 degrees, it's like saying, okay, we have entered into another wave of transitioning, and how we come forward with it is crucial, and not to fall under any, I'm going to say, any crazy spells, and be as authentic as you can without expectations, to be the truth of who you are without any expectations, and knowing that there is a release that we need to do. And if you're constantly looking at things and thinking that you have to, um I don't know, like revise something, and you continually going back to revise it, this is a time to say, okay, I can't revise this anymore. I can't, there's not much else I can do. All I can do is let it go. That's all I can do. And in letting go, letting God, as the saying goes. This is where, we got to look at the fuck ups and ask for forgiveness. And especially with the energies in Pisces, that connection to that of a higher divine, a higher dimension, asking for that energies to come through. And so that we purge, so we can drift from ourselves, and in this honest, transparent time. And with the moon is our ego identity, and it's in Taurus, and it's exalted, and it's squaring the nodes, and it's saying, I mean, Mercury squaring the nose, it's saying, like, where is your true authentic self, and where do you need to let go of? Because this I energy can pull you in so many directions, and you can be feeling so overwhelmed with everything. And it's, even for us, so many people coming, with advice, and you should have done this and you should have done that. And we just have to release that, because the shit is already done. I can't change the past. I can only step forward into the future. I can only step forward into the time that I am now, learn from my mistakes, and go forward with that. And that's where I'm at within our life. And this is coming forward where we are in some real crazy shifting, some crazy shifting. A lot of this will be revealed to us more so in April, as we are heading into the eclipse season. So as we head into the eclipse season, we're going to have a partial eclipse and a total lunar eclipse. And this is where especially in the one with in May, is it May? May 15th, because we'll have a partial solar eclipse, that new moon on the 30th at 10 degrees, and then a total lunar one on the 15th of May. So, and then we have a Jupiter Neptune conjunction in the middle of April. Fuck me. The next, sorry. This is the energies that brought on the Iraq war. The only thing that's flipped are the nodes, I think. No, the nodes are the same. Nodes are the same because it was 19 years ago. So this is the energy that really brought on that of what that Iraqi war was. And that was hellish, I would say. I think, well, any war is hellish. So we're going to see some intensities that are going to be building up over the next March through the rest of March into April and into May. So there's going to be some huge intensities that we're going to be seeing being built up over the next coming months. And this is where we need to start looking at our own selves and where we need to surrender and let go. This isn't a time to try and overly control things, especially with the Piscean energy. This is a time that we need to really look at and come into the folds of the divine's arms. That's what I keep seeing. And I keep seeing the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Sacred Heart of Mother Mary and entering into that Sacred Heart. Now, when I was little, the Sacred Heart, and I could see it, and sometimes it would have thorns around it, and there's like a little flame. Sometimes I saw a little flame. So it was like this flame from the heart that wants to come forward. Now, the energies are very fixed. So we want this fixedness within change. Now, anybody who's a fixed sign knows that sometimes it's a little bit difficult to create these changes for ourselves without something dramatic happening, because we're so rooted into what we believe. This is the way that we have to do it. We have to do it. And then something comes in to say, no, we got to do this totally differently. And you got to trust in God that this is going to be. You got to trust in that sacredness, that sacred flame of the divine heart, the heart chakra, that you are going upon the road of your dreams. And this is where, when we release and don't, we don't take it so serious, but we release it and look at the new directions that we need to go into. It's great. It is. The intensity is there. We're going to be seeing a lot more of the intensities within our own lives, and how we deal with it is going to be very vital and important in the coming months. How we release and deal with the energies now are going to be a great asset for what is going to be revealed for us in May. And so this is like, I love it when, the energies are saying, okay, let's do some work now so we can make it a lot easier for you for May, June, and July. Let's do a little bit of work now, because all the planets are direct, and things are going to start, the planets, Pluto's going to go retrograde at the end of April. So let's do this movement and this forward movement now. So it's really showing us that this is what we need to be doing now, because as we go into April and we go into May, we have that Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which is 184 or 164 year cycle. So it's kind of a crazy cycle. We're never going to see that again, but it causes craziness. You got to think of, it's water. So what does it control? What are the things that it controls? Well, it controls oil and gas. the oceans, the tides. It controls, for flooding and rainfall, anything to do with liquid. And I know I did a whole thing on this a few months ago, and I'll probably do another one just to revise it for you guys. But it does control a lot of you know um of that energy of natural gas, and how things are when it comes to emotions. And these are the things that the Piscean and Neptune and Jupiter control. And Jupiter will expand it. So he's coming in. And even today, with that conjunction with the sun, it is that expansion of everything. So it can be feeling very overwhelming and a lot to take in. So that it's very important to sort of take a moment, close your eyes, and connect with your inner being, your guides, and your divine, so that you are able to put come into your best future. And Pluto is conjuncting Vesta. And Vesta is about understanding. This is our understanding of our home, our values, of what is true to us. And it's very important to know where your Vesta is in your chart. Like mine is in Scorpio. And my Vesta in Scorpio, it has to do with a lot to do with my abilities and my healing and my psychicness. That's what Vesta is. And she's at 29 degrees in my Scorpio, just going into the 6th house. So that has to do with, how do I utilize my healing and my abilities to serve others? That's what Vesta is. Vesta shows you what you need to be doing. My doing, part of what I do, and what I do is of being of service with my gifts that I have been bestowed upon, I guess you will say, that I was born with, in order to help with others, in order to help others, with healing, and helping with that healing energy. This is where, with Vesta, was the goddess of fertility, and women who couldn't have children prayed for help with her. Vesta was also considered the goddess of protector for the Romans. She was usually represented as a sacred fire burning. So she's a sacredness. That's where I'm also seeing the flame coming in with the Sacred Heart, that flame coming forth. This is where Vesta is, where we're in charge of keeping that fire lit. This is where she's conjuncting with Pluto in Capricorn. Where are you keeping what is true to you and God lit? Where are you staying upon your divine path that you know is truthful to you? And where are you taking that time to come in? She enhances the fertility. She enhances, that of the harvest and the sacredness. She is a very, um she deals with the work and regarding some sacrifice that we should make. What are the sacrifices that you may need to make in your life in order to make it better? Like, it's great, it's like a 3-year-old. I want. And there's you have to teach the child. You can't always get what you want. You can't always, I just want that and go and take it. There's work you have to do to create that. It's like a garden. You got to plant the seeds, you got to water the seeds, you got to take care of it in order for it to create or be something, right? So here we are with this Pluto. It's like, and he's digging up shit, and he's having you look at shit within your life. And is this of value to you? Is this your truth? Are you hanging on to what you no longer need to hang on to? And Vesta rules the psychological conditions caused by abstaining. Are you abstaining from things because of fear of intimacy or relationships? This is what this is very much what she's going to be bringing up. And this is also on a world point. So we're going to see a world point of her bringing up a lot of things to do with intimacy, relationships caused by fearing. And for me, this, energy when I have her and this is about my intuitiveness and how I work with that, and um how it motivates me, and how I've learned to have to trust it, and how I can bring it to be of service. So that's the other part, to be of service to people, and with the knowledge that I receive, to share it. And it's deep, and it's emotional, and it's passionate. And this comes in with this deep emotional passion. But sometimes, with this energy too, comes the feeling of shame and guilt and judgmental. So having to balance that out for myself, I really have to watch that. I got to watch how I am judgmental. This is coming in to express self. And with her being in Capricorn right now with Pluto, it's like, how are you expressing your truth? Because Capricorn is all about what you are doing, your patriarchal system. It's about processes, it's about rules, it's about regulations. And what are the rules and regulations that you are putting upon yourself? Are they your truth? And are they serving you? Are you stepping into your truth, or are you stepping into the truth because you feel this is what I need to do because everybody says so? And this is within your own personal self. And this is coming up and being revealed as Mars and Venus meet at 0 degrees at a very critical time that we've been dealing with for the last 3 years. 2 years, 2.5 years. So we are stepping into something that is new and can be very uncomfortable. But she's coming in with this guide. So this is coming in with a huge energy that's coming in for our change. So let me pull some cards out for us. Ah. My first card. Oh, the 7 of Pentacles reversed. So maybe we're looking at things and we're looking at what we're doing, but we don't like what it is that we built up. We're not convinced with what we need to build up, because there is change that's happening, and we got to trust in the divine with the changes that are happening, and allow and know that we are totally protected with what is going to come forth with us. But we might get stuck on, oh, it's got to be this way, it's got to look this way, and it's not looking the way that we would like it to look like. Yet it's coming forth with this Chariot card, and Chariot card is ruled by Cancer energy. Cancer is that rushing water, that flow that allows for you to go forward, and with that knowledge that is true, and that you go with your heart and allow for that heart to lead you, because you're overanalyzing your skills. So there's a lot of overanalyzing everything in your life. You're really, from 7 to 8 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, we're overanalyzing everything. This is where, how are you using your energy at this time? Is it paying off, or are you becoming frustrating with the lack of output? Are you just pushing something that you don't need to push? And in comes the Chariot card, and it says, trust in God, trust in this, because this might be an indication that you are expending all of your energy and work and are neglecting other relationships, other things that need to be done. But you're so focused that I have to get this done, instead of releasing, letting go, and saying, this is, I can explore other ways of doing this. I need to open up, but I need to step away from it in order to get a clearer idea. Major one, Emperor, right? The Emperor got 4 ram's heads. The stubbornness. Yes, this is what I need to do. I need to go forward with this energy. I need to trust in where I am going. I have the wisdom and knowledge. There might be with this energy too. There might be the energy of the masculine. Definitely the masculine energy comes in that we have to trust with this. And I'm going to bring up a question with the emperor, my little emperor. There we go. The question: how can I take the initiative in order to manifest my goals? So what can I take? I need to take some initiative. I need to go forward, but now is the time to be strategic thinker in things, but not overdo it. This is like, okay, let me take. It's like looking at a map. If you're like right here and looking at the map, you can't see it. You got to take that step back and get a better view of the map and the overall. Do you have a spiritual practice? Are you trusting in God? Are you trusting in your divine? Because this is, looking at, maybe we need to look at things in a new way. And this is where we're feeling restricted. We're feeling confined. We feel it has to be this way. This is the way I've always done it. And here it's saying we need to release and let go and allow. We just have to, it's like almost like you got to shake it off and try not to continue to control it because you think it has to be a certain way. I'm going like the chariot's coming in. The chariot's saying you got to let it go. You got to let that shit go. And in letting that shit go, you are allowing for the divine to come in and what you are working towards. Whew. So much there. So much love for you all. So may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. I am taking appointments. I got to think of what I'm doing. I am taking appointments. I'm going to start taking appointments some next week and into the following week. So if you're wanting to book an appointment, please go to thegurumama.com and you can book on there. And if you can't find, or if it doesn't lead you to the booking for whatever reason, get a hold of me, please. And we will get you in as soon as we can. So have a blessed one, everybody. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the prayers and the energy healing that you have sent. I mean, prayers work. The energy healing's been fabulous. Steve is doing very well. And full on physio and that next week. So onward and upward we go, my friends. And thank you for everybody else who sent some support to us. It has been greatly appreciated, trust me, because this isn't it's gotta admit it's pretty rough. So, but with friends and family that are around, and all of you and all of your blessings have been a godsend. Thank you. So we'll see you guys all maybe tomorrow, but I won't promise anything right now. I'm taking it one day at a time. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.